Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm just getting things ready with the live stream, so just bear with me, and we'll be on our way here pretty soon. Okay, so if you haven't figured it out already by the title of the video, we're going to be taking part in a scenic flight over the Bahamas in JustFlight's F28 Professional, and you can see on your screen that is what we have before us. And we're going to be jumping from the northwesternmost point of the Bahamas and flying south around the island chain, and then hopefully back to where we started. Let's take a look at I've got it mapped out here in my flight planning software. Let's see if I can pull that up. There we go. And let's see if I can simplify it a little bit here. So if we zoom out a little bit, this is the globe, and we're starting in you can see Miami on the coast of Florida. Just to the east, a few miles, we have the Bahamas, and we're going to be departing from MYBS, which I believe is South Bimini. I believe that's how you pronounce that. I could be totally butchering it, so please forgive me. But we're going to be departing off runway 10. I've got the weather configured, so it should be pretty easy going. No extreme weather, nothing of the sort. But we'll be departing on a heading of 10, and then basically just going to be following around the island chain and hopefully get some good scenic views. Might be modifying this as we go. I want to try to keep the flight, within decent amount of time. I don't want to spend too long on it. It is a late evening here, and I do get to work in the morning. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the plane. So we'll go back here, and let me change the camera view. Actually, before we do that, we can take a look using the camera drone to go around the airplane and take a better look at the outside of it. And so this is the F28 Professional. It's modeled by was developed by JustFlight, which is a third-party developer for Microsoft Flight Simulator and other flight simulator software. And this is an older aircraft. I think it was developed back in the 70s maybe, by a Danish company called Fokker. So this is the Canadian livery, as you can see, and what I found pretty remarkable was just the shininess. Like, this is the old school kind of look, so I thought it was pretty neat. The other thing about this aircraft, because it is old, let's jump into the aircraft. I can't remember how to get into, right, we have to switch our camera. There we go. So we are inside the aircraft in the cockpit, and this is, like I said, this is a super old aircraft. There isn't a whole lot of computer systems. We do have this tablet, which we can hide for now, but there's not a lot of automation in this aircraft, unlike the Airbuses of today, where everything is largely computerized and just managed by the press of a button. This is not the case with this one. There is a flight management computer which we will be utilizing, but it's very, very basic. Okay, let's jump. We can move the armrest here and jump off to the side and take a look. Actually, before we do that, if we come back here and pull up the tablet and open up the door, we also request ground power, which will do that. And later on, we can find how many passengers we're going to be flying today. It's not going to be a lot because it takes a while for it to load if you do so at a realistic speed. So let's just set like, I don't know, maybe 10. I think should be fine. Anyways, you can hear the ground generator power up if we go outside. You can see the ladder, or the stairs have extended out. And you have the GPU, or the ground power unit, hooked up to the aircraft. Look, you can see how detailed this is. You can see the fumes coming out of the exhaust of the generator. You can see it's plugged into the aircraft. Let's jump back. Alright, let's go ahead and start boarding. And turn the battery off. And when we start boarding, you hear the background music, which stewards could actually technically control back here. Like your volume of the music, you can turn it off. So while passengers are loading, let's take a look at a fuel. I think we should be fine, but let's just use it. Alright, so while we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and up the flight. And turn the master radio switches on down here. So, but first, actually, right now we're just dropping off the power from the battery, which is not going to affect anything down here. So what we need to do is we have connected to the starting ground generator outside, so we have starting power. We can rely on that. So if we click that, then we should see everything coming up. Okay, so we have power. The other thing we want to do actually is to start the engines, we need to have pressurized air, compressed air. So we'll draw that. Start the switch. For about 10 seconds for the cover to after about 10 seconds we'll start. Let's see the RPM increase. It's about 100%. Turn on the generator. Or this is Gen 3. It's going steam. At that point, we don't need to really rely on
recording is complete.
Okay, let's see. I think I apologize, people, if you can't hear me because we're having issues with the audio. Let's see here. I think I got it, but we'll see here. Alright, so I think I figured out the audio issue, folks. It's a shame. I don't know how much you couldn't hear me, but because I kind of went through the whole process of starting this up with the APU. But that's okay. We'll work with it. I'm going to try to adjust the volumes now. This is what's so great about working with this streaming software. There's a lot to learn. Okay, I think we're good now. Let's turn this up a little bit more, and I think we're going to be good. Okay, so. Are going to, so we have the APU running. We're running off that APU's generator. We also have bleed air, so we have compressed air. We can start the engine now. And we should have power, so AC power, so we can go ahead and switch the master radio switches to on, which then allows us to start up the computer. And of course, just like in real life, it takes a second for it to boot up. And we're just going to accept it. And from here, I'm going to basically put in the same flight plan that we had looked in the flight planning software prior. And to do that, we just click on flight plan, and we select on this. And this is an old school, like 80s type computer, so it's a little clunky, but it gets the job done. So our departure is going to be M, Y, B, S. Enter, accept. And we're departing on runway 10, and then we're going to be heading to November, India, Charlie, Kilo, Oscar. Enter, accept, and we're going to be going to, I'm going to change the view here. This is better, okay. Niner, India, Charlie, Kilo, Oscar, enter, accept. Oh, I realized I just put that in twice. That's okay, because what we can do is just click on that, and what we do from here is just type the next waypoint, which is, what is it? Oh, enter, accept, and then number 5, we're going to put NY. So echo November, enter, accept. And similarly, we're going to put MY into the 6th waypoint. Echo, hotel, enter, and just a couple more. So Bravo, Alpha, Romeo, Bravo, Oscar, enter, accept, Oscar, Lima, hotel, and then Sierra, enter, accept. And then lastly, we're going to basically be landing where we started, which is M, Y, B, S, enter, accept. We're also going to normally, I think we can set like when we're going to be departing. In this case, it's 1. So just enter. I don't think it really makes much of a difference in this case. They don't have ILS or any other approaches. Alright, so the computer's configured. Let's move back over into our seat. Set our weather radar to standby, but we're really not going to need it. We can go ahead and we'll just start our engines. I think we're pretty much loaded with our passengers. Refueling is complete. Boarding is complete. Doors closed, so let's disconnect the ground power. Shocks. Okay, fasten seatbelts, no smoking. We'll tell the steward to prepare for takeoff. Alright, let's go ahead and start the engine. So we do that. Turn the starter master on, and we're going to start with the second engine. Air will be diverted to the compressor, and we should see this right here. We want to get to about 15 before we advance the fuel, which we have, so we're going to advance it. And then we'll wait until it gets to about 50%. Eventually, when it gets to that, the generator 2 will kick in, and it will switch over from APU power to the generator from the second engine. Right about now. You can hear it click. Okay, so next we're going to start engine 1. Same deal. Oh, I forgot. You need to advance the fuel all the way up to the full position. And we're good to advance engine number 1, fuel condition. Alright. Advance that to full. Engage the altimeter. Okay, we're going to set our target altitude to about 10,000. Actually, no, let's do
We're going to be flying low, 6,000 feet. Okay, setting heading to 10. Course, what we're going to set our course to is, that's a good question, let's see. 133. Yeah, we'll set both to 133. No ILS, so we're not going to be, or VOR, so we're not messing with the nav radios. We'll set the mode selector to heading mode. We'll turn the damping on. All the hydraulic switches are good. Let's retract the taxi light and the landing lights, and we'll turn those on. Nav lights are on. Technically, we should turn these on before we even start the engine, but we'll just turn all that on. We'll leave the anti-collision lights off. Flaps, we're going to move those down to 18. Set our VR. Actually, let's do 11. Right. That's exactly what we need. Alright, I think we're good to go. I kind of skipped over some tests that we should have done, but we'll just pretend we done them. Everything was good and dandy. One thing that I do want to mention that we need to pay attention to is this gust lock lever. The first time I tried flying this stupid plane, I forgot and didn't look to see what that was and didn't really touch it, didn't know about it. And of course I get taxiing and I have control of the front wheel nose steering. See, right here. If you look at the front of the aircraft, you can see the front wheel steering. But I didn't realize that I had no control of any other flight control surfaces, meaning the yoke or the rudders. Like right now I'm trying to move them and I can't. And I got lined up on the runway, full takeoff power, and didn't realize until I got halfway down the runway that I could not, that the yoke or nothing would move. So that was fun. So let's turn that off. And now I have complete control of all the controls and the rudders. So another thing you always want to test. We're not going to bother with ATC because it's annoying, so let's just pretend that we have, and I think we're pretty much good to go. So again, we'll tell the stewards.
Cam crew, please take your seats for takeoff.
Alright, let's turn brake off. Start rolling. Alright, and we'll hold short here. A couple more things to check. here. Pitot and valve heating, or main heating is on. Windshield heat on. And let's turn the air conditioning on for the cockpit. We'll turn the generator off for Gen 3 on the APU. We will turn the bleed air off, but we'll keep the APU running. We're going to turn the starter off. Forgot to do that earlier. And we're going to arm the emergency lights. Everything else looks just fine, so we're going to proceed onto the runway. Pretend that it's clear. I'm not sure why I'm seeing those arrows. Microsoft Flight Simulator did this earlier, and I have no idea why it's doing that. It's like it's running a mission, but I'm not running a mission. We should have plenty of runway to work with, so. Kind of weird why those are showing up. There's no really purpose for it. This is a free flight, so it's a bug I would imagine they need to fix. Anyways, let's proceed. Full power.
Power set.
Okay, we're in the air. Let's go ahead and turn our AP on. And we're going to do direct to Nico. And set our mode to beam. We're going to probably... Yeah, we'll probably travel at around 200 knots, and then what we're going to do is set IAS and increase our throttle, and that should give us some climb. But we're already at 6,000 feet, so I don't think it's really necessary. Yeah, the mode's already kicked off. But that's what you would do normally if you're going like into a cruising altitude of like 29,000. So at this point, oh yeah, we're gonna forgot to set the target altitude to auto, so it should stop climbing. Yeah, there we go. And our speed's gonna increase, so we've got to reduce our throttle. Traveling at about 250 knots, which is about as fast as I want to go right now. Heading towards the main island. shortly. Actually, I think we might. Let's reduce our altitude by 1,000. Normally wouldn't spend travel at 5,000 feet at this point. But, we're going to. Hard to tell, but I think we can already see the island out ahead of us. If we were to increase our altitude, perhaps 10,000 wouldn't take very long. So I just increased the power because we're climbing now at about 2,000 feet per minute to try to reach a new target altitude of 10,000. If we can get to that altitude, we might be able to see more. I need to actually... Oh, we crashed, so I don't know if you saw it, but we actually oversped because I was not paying attention. It happens pretty quickly. So let's get back to 300 knots. The simulator so graciously put us back into the air. Looks like our AP got kicked off though, so let's fix that. Yeah, look at that. We're already at 7,000 feet. This thing... You can notice the dirty exhaust coming out of the back of this thing. This thing was not environmentally friendly, I imagine. Let's switch the mode select to the OR. I'm not sure what the difference between using these versus that. I really don't know. I think I'll have to look into the manual to see what. It seems to me that if you're selecting the source, so you're heading I don't know. This is all what I've been doing is usually following the GPS. I always set it to VOR localizer. So let's see. I think our speed is pretty back up there. It is. Let's reduce our speed, our power. Yep, so now you can get a better view. See the island out ahead of us. Turn some lights on. It's going to be dark probably. Let's see. I kind of want to see what they have for airports. Airport with a runway that is almost 6,000 feet long, so you know what? Right there. It's MYAN. And it's actually already on our route, so that is not actually that's confused. It's AN, not EN. Alright, I think I'm going to manually fly there. So let's disengage AP. Oh, actually, no. Let's just, let's do this. So, target. Let's reduce power and airspeed. So we're going to get this alarm, but we can just silence it. Get to about 200 knots. It's going to take a minute. We're going to make a detour. In the meantime, you can take a look at the islands. Start descending. Set our target to 3,000 feet. We're going to head due east, roughly. 7,800 feet. Actually going to see if we can lead off some more speed. And we're technically going off course from our flight plan, but that's alright. We're doing some exploration. Alright, I'm going to extend some flaps. And then I'm going to set IS mode and reduce throttle. And that should hopefully maybe it is. Okay, but give it a minute. Okay, we're at 6,000 feet. Alright, so if you're wondering what these bright lights are up there, for some reason the simulator is overlaying these markers. For whatever reason, I have no idea. It's usually associated with, like, if you're doing a mission and they're trying to direct you to a path, but this is not a mission, so it's some kind of bug that certainly brings the immersion. But I mean, other than that, this plane is pretty remarkable. It's very well detailed. And because it is an older plane, it's a little bit more involved. There's not a lot of automation like the newer ones. Some lights. Okay, so we're at 1,000 feet out from our target altitude. Let's adjust our heading, so basically come back around. And I'm gonna set up for a manual landing at San Andreas Airport. So, let's prepare for landing. So we're going to arm the speed brakes. Let's see, what else I want to do. Leave the flaps the way they are.
2,500.
So let's adjust our vertical speed, get some power. We don't want to go any lower than 2,000 feet at this point. I don't know a whole lot about this airport, but we want to set our course to course of 120, and our heading eventually set that to also course of 120. probably extend our gear here in a minute once I get lined up. I can kind of feel the simulator lagging a little bit, again, because of the bug. The longer that it runs earlier today, it would just create more of a trail, so it would use up more memory, and eventually it would slow the simulator down to a drag. So I think what I'm going to do is try to land this plane, and then we'll call it a night. Hopefully Microsoft, or Sobo, it's not really Microsoft, it's Sobo Studios, come up with a patch for that pretty soon. I don't think it was there earlier. It was introduced with their new major release. Alright, let me take a look at this. So we're looking for runway 12. There's no ILS, there's no RNAV, there's nothing. So we're hoping that there's some at least lights on the runway so we can see it. Alright, let's reduce our speed. Hard to tell. Just going off from the flight map that I have here. And I don't see the airport. I could just be blind. Probably not what passengers want to hear from a pilot. That's it over there. Let's see here. Okay, I think it's that right over there. I think I see it, so I think we're good. Alright, our landing lights are already down and extracted, so we're good there. Don't need to worry about all that. See, there's those markers. Yeah, it's very annoying. Okay, let's Okay, so we're going to line up. We're quite high, so we're going to try to lose some more altitude, but we have plenty of
2,500.
Okay, so down here I've set our decision height to 200 feet, and right now we're approaching 2,000 feet. Not cool that they don't really have any lights on that runway aside from the poppy lights. I guess at least we should be grateful that we have that. Wow, it is super hard to see the runway. You can't see me right now, but I'm like all the way up to my computer screen.
Come through, please take your seats one.
Passengers are going to be in for an interesting landing, I suspect.
Cabin is secured for arrival.
Alright, you're secure for arrival. Good. We're still pretty high, so let's see. I'm trying to bleed off some of the altitude.
500.
Should be hearing the
100 feet to minimum.
okay, approaching 200.
Speed.
Minimums. Minimums.
Speed. Speed. Minimum.
Can I do it?
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Perfect. Well, that was fun. Let's see what's at the end of the runway here. Hopefully a place to park. Oh, there's not a whole lot of room over there. Alright, we'll make room. We can disengage the speed brakes. Where should we go? Probably not over there. I don't know if it'd be a good idea to try to like blast these planes with the jet engine. Alright, we're just gonna park here. It's good enough for me. Let's see here. So to shut off the engine, well, actually we need to make sure we remain power or have power after we shut off the engine. So we're gonna turn the generator 3 on, which is the APU, which we conveniently left running for this very exact purpose. So we can go ahead and turn engine 1 off.
Cabin crew, doors to manual and test check.
We could probably let passengers go. That was quick. They already left the plane. Well, anyways, I appreciate you guys tagging along. I know that was kind of a shorter flight. I gotta figure out what that issue is with the that bug, but I could feel the simulator start to slow down like earlier, so I knew if I hadn't ended this flight early, it would have led to a crash or something like that. So we don't want that. But anyways, it was fun. Maybe I'll do another video once that gets sorted out. Anyways, thanks again for tagging along, and y'all have a great night.